I could see the transition from one role to other role as very deeper and more powerful and more impactful.
Well, that's funny you should ask that or you should say that because...
As a young girl raised in farms, yes, that conversation with the policewoman made you think about to go into that career. But what are the core values and how do you think the way you think and the values which came through growing up in a family or in a structure? How your values and purpose evolved through growing up, and how has that shown up in these roles?
Sure. Well, I was raised on a market garden, but I was raised by my mum and dad. My mum being a very strong Catholic. My mum was a Maltese immigrant when she was 7 years of age, and she comes from a large Maltese family. My grandparents were both born in Malta, and their Catholic faith shaped the way they lived. And therefore, my mum and my dad, obviously, my upbringing has shaped the way I live today as well. I suppose I've always had a belief system. It's about giving and giving to those who are less fortunate than yourself. I've always been quite selfless and put other people before myself. As a young child, I never had an experience of sexual abuse as such. But I came close. I came very close. But I was lucky to have escaped that. And the person who I was in close contact with went on to be charged with child sex offences. So I was very lucky. And I think it's always been there to help people. I think it's part of me. My mum and dad raised me in a way that it's more about giving than taking. It's more about other people. My faith tells me that, and my Catholic belief systems is about that, So I think my faith has always been a guiding principle for me, and to do the right thing. And I suppose that's in the end, that's why I went to work for the church, because I never was going to do that. I was never going to leave the police service. That was going to be my one career. But as a Catholic woman, I found that maybe that's where the Holy Spirit wanted me to be. And I truly believe that. I felt that the Holy Spirit was guiding me into that work. I think I contributed a lot in that space. And I'm grateful for that opportunity. Because that deepened my faith. Working for the church actually deepened my faith. And
I could see the transition from one role to other role as very deeper and more powerful and more impactful.
Well, that's funny you should ask that or you should say that, because one of the reasons why I didn't want to leave the police service and then go and work for the church was because I thought I wouldn't be as impactful. I didn't think I would have as much impact in educating children and parents out of a uniform. But I was quite surprised. I actually had greater impact in the church than I did when I was with police. So the police uniform did serve a purpose, but quite often it could also be a negative. Whereas the work in the church was all fairly positive. It was all faith-based. So it gave me a much bigger platform. And a lot of the children's resources that I wrote them in line with biblical references and, the Catholic faith. So, me personally, when you've got God on your side, you can't go wrong. But that's just me personally. In the role that I'm in now, it's not a faith-based role. It's a very general role. And again, it's about treating everybody equal. Well, it's actually not about treating people equal. It's about treating individuals with care and affection and compassion. And what I've come to learn is that it's not about treating people equal so much as it is providing people with what they need.
Yeah.
We're not all equal. We have different needs. We come from different backgrounds. We have different belief systems, different upbringings. We aren't all equal. We don't all need the same thing. So what I've learned in the last couple of years is that inclusion, equity and diversity is about giving people what they need, not treating everybody as equal. So I've had a bit of a learning period in that space as well. So that's been good. And that's what I mean when it comes together. You know, you can work quite secular, and the church role is fairly, you know, it's quite defined.